Okay, and then this is, let me bring you over to the window so you can see a little better. This is the initial backing. This will be the very back of the ornament. I have some of these, the half pearls in the dark blue, the light blue, and the white. These nail art wheels, they are wonderful for resin inclusions. And I also have some of these in the white and the dark blue. And then I also included a couple of these little iridescent marbles because they're really pretty. They show up as like little bits of iridescent snowballs. So yeah, I will let that harden for another 2 hours to the 6-hour period, and then I will lay another clear layer over it. At which point I'll put the mid ground stuff, which will probably be another snowflake, and some more rhinestones and half pearls and things like that. And then we will lay yet another clear layer over that, and then we'll put the foreground in. And after the foreground, we will pop it out, and then we'll dome it. So yeah, there's several steps, and it takes about 2 days to do an ornament like this. But I really think they're beautiful when they're done. So I'll check in with you when we do the mid-ground. So now we're on to the next step of the Christmas ornament, and that is going to use a contrasting Christmas tree here and decide where I want to place it, which will be here, because I think that is a very nice place. And yes, it did cover, you know, some of what we so nicely laid out yesterday, but it's part of the 3D effect. And then we will take that, and so we can do more 3D fun, we will pour our resin. I tend to make my resin ornaments pretty thickly, since resin is more or less just liquid plastic. When it dries, it's super light. And there you go. That is the, ooh, we're in shadow. That is the next step. We'll let it sit for 4 hours, put the embellishments on the final layer, and then let it harden so I can pop it out of the mold. Okay, and we are back. It is now 3 o'clock Eastern. It's been about 5 hours since I laid the sticker and the next layer of resin. It's not even tacky to the touch. Again, I love this resin. It's outstanding resin. And so I'm going to add a little snowflake here. Let's see. And we're going to add some more gems. Excuse my voice. I've been up all night and I have a cold. Well, I have the flu. I'm recovering from the flu at the moment. So your first tutorial from me is flu voice. But I'm just setting some rhinestones in the semi-soft the semi-soft resin. I found that this is just it's so much easier to work with than working with it wet. And again, this is one of the reasons why I love working back to front like this, because I can set everything down exactly where I want it to show up, and it'll be there. Oops. I have no guessing with this. I have not had any kind of problems with my rhinestones shifting in the wet resin, which I think is wonderful, because I was really becoming frustrated after I was becoming frustrated for a while, because I would set my half pearl resin, my half pearl rhinestones in, and oh, the nightmare. Half the time it just would not work the way I wanted it to work. They would shift in the wet resin and float away, and this, I just feel a lot more control. And I don't mind the finish at all. Okay. Okay, so that is more or less how I want it. And then I'm going to fill this with another layer of resin. As you can see, it is quite a thick piece. And most of my most of my finished ornaments are quite thick pieces. They should be, because if you want that three-dimensional effect, which I really love for ornaments, then they're thick. They're thick, but they are really, really light. I mean, they barely bend branches in my tree, in my Christmas tree. So, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, and then we will dome it tomorrow, because it will have to sit overnight to harden enough for me to pull out of the mold, and then put on the doming tray. So I guess I will check you all tomorrow. There we go. Hey everyone, we're back, and it's been about 14 hours since I poured the last layer over everything. And we're going to pop it out of the mold, and we're going to dome it. And then it will be 100% done. Now, when it's properly hardened, it will pop out of this mold without any problem. Just give it a little bit of wiggle, turn it over, and give it a tap. And it comes right out. And as you can see, it is a thick, substantial piece. It's beautiful though. I'm very, very happy with it. There's a little bit of a area there. A little bit of... And the wonderful thing about resin is just how well you can just use a pair of scissors and trim up your edges. You don't have to do, a ton of sanding unless you've been really, really sloppy. And sanding should never be a way to correct sloppy work, quite frankly. Take pride in what you do. So, I am currently waiting for Mr. Owl to ding, 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 which will tell me that the batch of resin I have prepped is done. And I have two pieces that I'm doming. Both of them are ornaments. So let's come over here. Both of these are the ornaments. This one is incredibly shiny and curly and perfect for a little girl's room or as a Valentine's Day gift or whatever. And then we have this, our ornament. And you can see the other stuff that's just been sitting around. Okay. Now, let's see. Now I am on a level surface, and this is self-leveling resin. So let's see. You can usually tell by how fast it reaches the corners if I'm going to need more. And there we go. Because as you can see, the surface is completely flat on both of them, which is what I want. I may just add a little bit more because I like a little bit more dimension. And while that lip is great for holding in the resin, you can overpour and it will make a mess on your tray. You just have to be very careful about how much you use. Okay, so I used between both ornaments a full 15 mil batch. And now these will sit for for the next 12 hours, and then I will be able to put the bails on, because I use bails for my ornaments. I don't tend to put in eye rings or eye pins or eye hooks or anything like that. I just use a simple glue-on bail with the E6000, and it makes a really sturdy. It makes a very sturdy way to hang the ornament. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it's helped you in whatever you need. And I, again, highly recommend Little Windows Resin if you don't already use it. And we'll see you at the next tutorial. Bye!